This chapter will be dedicated to dealing with defenders. With that I mean tactical opportunities that appear when an enemy defender can do its job properly. So I let you think about 3 positions for a bit, pause the video in each position if you need to take your time, and I will ask you what would you play in this position. So here it's white to play, here it's white to move again, and finally white to move also. Okay, so now let's explore the solutions if you've tried the different positions. And they all have to do with stopping a defender from doing its job. So here we can see the tensions between several pieces. So the rooks are staring at each other, the bishops are staring at each other. So how can we exploit that? Because if we take the bishop, then he takes back, we gain nothing. So what do we do instead? We need to notice that the rook is protecting the bishop. That's why taking the bishop doesn't work. But not the other way around. The bishop isn't protecting the rook. So what do? We destroy, we remove, we capture the defender first, and then after they recapture, we now take the unprotected hanging bishop. Of course, after we take, they could also reply by making their threat real instead of just taking back. They could take the bishop as well, but we've won a rook for a bishop, and we also have this move forking both pawns, so this is actually great for white. All right, so first option about how to deal with an annoying defender is just take it away from the board, remove it. Let's go for the second one. What can we play here as white? And the theme is this rook is a defender. It's not defending any piece, but it's doing something just as important. It's stopping a mate threat. So, of course, in this sense, checkmating threats are basically the same as a piece. It's something that you cannot leave free for your opponent to access. You need to have a defender protecting it and covering that square. So, what can we do? Well, we create a distraction for this defender. So we force it to do something else. How so in this case? Well, we have the move bishop f6 check, which would be checkmate if not for the possibility of taking with the rook. But now the rook is no longer serving the primary purpose it was serving on the back rank, defending the mate, so we can simply bring our rook over here and it's just checkmate. All right, and for the final example, we have a special or pretty common case of creating a distraction of a defender, which is the case of dealing with an overloaded piece. So you can see that this bishop is protecting both knights at once, and this is not ideal. Black should be thinking of having a different defender for each piece, maybe if this pawn was over here instead. Why is that the case? Well, because we can now exploit this overloaded piece by making trades and forcing it to move away. So after it retakes once, it can no longer retake again. So how can we do it? We could do it like this, and now this knight is hanging and we take it. But notice that we haven't really won anything. So we are one bishop against one bishop and we're hanging a pawn. So this is not the way. So what's the way? The way is to take the other knight with the bishop, and after the bishop moves, we take the knight that is now unprotected hanging on c4. So it's important to see this. So we can't just see the tactical pattern and go for it immediately. We actually need to find the actual move, the actual sequence of moves that works and gives us an advantage. So there's a bit of calculation to be done. Okay, so of course there are other ways to deal with defenders, but I wanted to show you the main ones. So we have the removal and distraction, and this particular type of distraction of an overloaded piece. Of course, you will find many others in tactical puzzles and in your games, but I think it's now a good time to continue with the exercises. I will leave you new Lichess studies for the themes of these chapters. And as always, stay consistent, do your puzzles, try to find in your games and in your analysis of your games these tactical patterns that we are studying here. And with time and with consistency, your chess skill, your ELO, your results will improve. Of course, don't miss the next chapter where we will explore more basic tactical patterns.